Client A, part 2, what a GI map stool test can show us about somebody's gut health, hormone health, and frankly, total body health. By the way, I'm Marissa Fay. I'm board certified in holistic nutrition and certified in ordering and interpreting functional lab tests and using functional medicine approaches to help women reduce and reverse symptoms with natural methods. This is part 2 of looking at a GI map stool test from a sample client. If you want to check out part 1, go ahead and check out the playlist in my profile labeled GI map. So in part 2, we are actually going to look at page 2 of the GI map stool test. This is a one-time stool collection test that I use with a lot of my clients who come to me with all kinds of gut issues, all kinds of hormone issues. This client came to me with things like constipation, going to the bathroom less than 1 time a day, cold hands and feet, hair loss, some hormonal acne, and some dysregulation in her cycle. We already established on page 1 that the lab did not find any pathogenic bacteria, pathogenic parasites, or pathogenic viruses, which doesn't necessarily mean 100% that she doesn't have those in her system. It just means it was not found in the sample. And page 2 is where we take a look at what's called normal bacterial flora, or commensal bacteria. This is the kind of bacteria, first of all, we expect to find, we want to find in most every gut, but this easily becomes imbalanced by a lot of habits y'all are doing every day, especially overconsumption of over-the-counter probiotic supplements. So as we look at this client's results, we see her H. pylori came in as high. Now, just so you know, it takes a skilled practitioner to interpret these results. Just because something comes back high or low or normal does not mean necessarily that's the interpretation. When it comes to H. pylori, this is a kind of bacteria that takes up residence in the stomach. The stomach is meant to have enough acid so it kills things off. So something that's taking a hold in the stomach is a pretty strong something. And H. pylori is also really great at hiding, which is one of the reasons why the number we get on this test is not always the most accurate of the portrayal of what's really happening in someone's gut. H. pylori has been linked to things such as acid reflux or warming in the upper GI. There also seems to be a relationship with things like Hashimoto thyroiditis or autoimmune hypothyroidism, which this client actually around the same time was diagnosed by her doctor with. So in my interpretation, I'm seeing that that bacteria is mapping back to signs and symptoms that I see that the client has. Then here, when we look at normal bacterial flora, we see some dysregulation. So you can see there's a presence of these. We expect to see a presence, but some are low and some are high. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but what's low and what's high is significant, and I can look at those and match them to a client's symptoms. But what's important here is we're already seeing imbalance in the gut microbiome of this client. Stay tuned for part 3, where I'll start talking about the custom protocol I built for this.